Throughout the history of sports, there is always them what ifs. What if Kobe Bryant never got traded to the Lakers? What if LeBron never signed with the Heat? What if Jason Tatum never got hurt in the 2023 Eastern Conference Finals? We never know what happened. So today I want to make a video about the biggest what ifs in football history. Now this will be mostly NFL. I can do just a strictly college one if y'all want me to. And I'm not gonna mention the crazy obvious one like Super Bowl 49 where the Seahawks should have ran the ball. And that's because we know what happens. Like if the Seahawks run the ball, they score a touchdown, they win the game, they become a dynasty, while the Patriots dynasty might end. Instead, Russell Wilson threw an interception. The Patriots went on to win 2 more Super Bowls after Super Bowl 49, and lots of Seahawks players from that Legion of Boom defense went on to become old and started to suffer injuries and eventually retired. What if number 1? What if Drew Brees got to sign with the Miami Dolphins back in 2006? Before Nick Saban was coined as the greatest college football head coach of all time and had 6 national championships at the University of Alabama, he was actually the Miami Dolphins head coach. And Coach Saban was actually in search for a quarterback, insert Drew Brees, who was the Chargers quarterback with potential, but he was just a little injury prone. And since he was injury prone, the Chargers really wasn't looking to sign him back, but the Miami Dolphins was looking to sign him, but due to his injuries, he failed his physical. But Nick Saban wanted to keep this under the table, so he didn't tell teams until he signed with the New Orleans Saints. This led to the Dolphins pivoting to Minnesota quarterback Dante Culpepper, who they traded a 2nd round pick for, but Culpepper only started 4 games there, and since 2006 they have had 18 quarterbacks make at least 1 start for the Dolphins. On the other hand, you got Drew Brees. He signed with the New Orleans Saints, and there he won 2 Offensive Player of the Years, started 13 Pro Bowls. Most importantly, he won a Super Bowl, and he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And for those who don't know, Nick Saban went on to leave Miami, go to Alabama, win 6 national titles, produce 3 Heisman Trophy winners, produce many NFL players, and have the greatest and most dominant dynasty in college football history. But what if Drew Brees was able to sign with the Dolphins? Maybe he probably doesn't end up being a first ballot Hall of Famer or as good of a quarterback as he became with the Saints, just because Miami franchise is not as competent as the Saints franchise. Nick Saban still probably ends up in college in the future, but just not as quickly as what he did, meaning that his dynasty run probably starts a little bit later and more teams win national championships. And finally, the Dolphins, well, who knows what happened with them, because they're the Dolphins. Their franchise has kind of been meh until now. What if Bo Jackson never sustained a career-ending injury in 1990? Bo Jackson not only was one of the greatest athletes of his generation, but of all time. Jackson wasn't just a star athlete in football, he was also a star athlete in track and field and baseball, playing all 3 at the high school level and the collegiate level. And when Jackson became a professional athlete, he just played baseball and football. Now in the NFL, he wasn't the greatest running back, but he was a good running back for the Los Angeles Raiders. Jackson would only spend 4 years with the Raiders, where he would put up 2,700 rushing yards, 16 touchdowns, not crazy impressive stats, but you also got to remember he was playing baseball and he was sharing the backfield with Marcus Allen. Now those 4 years he spent with the Raiders will actually be his only 4 years in the NFL, because in 1990 he suffered a career-ending injury. In January of 1991 in the playoffs, Bo Jackson and the Raiders were playing the Bengals, and on a tackle, Jackson would suffer a hip injury and that would end his career. And Jackson is one of the biggest what ifs in football history because of his potential. His last season in the NFL, he just reached a Pro Bowl for the first time. He had his 2nd best statistical season in his last season in the NFL, and his popularity was through the roof because you had the Bo Nose commercial, you had him being a cheat code on Tecmo Bowl, and to wrap things all up for Bo Jackson, he was so popular because he played 2 professional sports and he was good at both of those professional sports. So if Jackson doesn't get hurt, he probably makes about 4 more Pro Bowls, maybe end up on the All-Pro team a couple of times, and him and Marcus Allen will be named as one of the best running back duos of all time. Number 3, what if Eli Manning stayed with the San Diego Chargers? Eli Manning had an extraordinary college career, throwing for over 10,000 yards, 81 touchdowns to 35 interceptions, and after 4 years at Ole Miss, he would then enter the NFL draft, where he was in probably one of the most stacked quarterback drafts of all time. Not only was it Eli Manning in that draft, but you also had Ben Roethlisberger and Phillip Rivers. But Eli was viewed as the best of the 3, which is why he went number 1 to the San Diego Chargers. But Eli Manning did not want to go to the Chargers because he didn't trust the organization, as they already failed 2 young quarterbacks before him in Drew Brees and Ryan Leaf. This will lead the Chargers trading Eli Manning to the Giants for Phillip Rivers, who went number 4. And of course, after this trade, we know what happened in Eli Manning's career. He went to multiple Pro Bowls. He beat Tom Brady not once, but twice in the Super Bowl, and he's guaranteed to be a Hall of Famer. We know Phillip Rivers spent all his years in San Diego. We don't count that little year he had with Indianapolis. He went to multiple Pro Bowls and became one of the greatest quarterbacks to never win a ring. But what if that trade never happened? Eli Manning played for the Chargers for how many years? He also has Antonio Gates and LaDainian Tomlinson for lots of his career. But does he win 2 rings? Because you gotta think the Chargers defense struggled when they had Phillip Rivers when they were going against Tom Brady, while the Giants, when they went against Tom Brady, they had one of the better defenses in the NFL. Also, does Phillip Rivers win 2 rings or at least a ring over in New York? But I do believe both of their careers are still successful. Number 4, what if Drew Bledsoe never got injured? Tom Brady's emergence as the Patriots franchise quarterback and as the NFL's greatest player of all time might have never happened, or it might have happened later, because the Patriots already had their franchise quarterback when they drafted him in Drew Bledsoe. See, back in 1993, Drew Bledsoe was taken with the number 1 overall pick by the New England Patriots. And before his injury, he was the Patriots starting quarterback for 8 seasons, throwing for over 29,000 passing yards and 164 touchdowns. Bledsoe will lead the Patriots to multiple postseason appearances as a starter, including in 1996, where he helped the Patriots make the Super Bowl, where they sadly failed to the Packers. In March of 2001, Bledsoe was signed a 10-year, $103 million deal with the Patriots, and it looked like he was going to be their starter for a long time. But also in 2001, against the New York Jets, Bledsoe would get hit, suffer a catastrophic injury, and then he would be replaced by Tom Brady. Brady will lead the Patriots to the playoffs, then to a Super Bowl, and in the offseason, Bledsoe will then be traded to the Buffalo Bills. He spent 3 seasons in Buffalo, where he had some solid stats, and then he spent 2 seasons in Dallas before retiring. And we all know what happened with Tom Brady after this injury. Won 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, became the greatest quarterback of all time, won another Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, and he made many fan bases hate him over those years. But what if that injury never happened? Bledsoe is more than likely the starter for the Patriots for the next couple of seasons. Brady, well, we don't know what happens with him. Maybe he's the one traded to Buffalo. We don't know what happened with Bill Belichick's coaching career with Bledsoe under center. And tell me what y'all think. Do y'all think the Patriots win those early 2000 Super Bowls? But yeah, this injury not only changed the course of these 2 players' careers, but also the course of NFL history. What if Bill Belichick stayed the New York Jets head coach instead of going to the Patriots? Before becoming a New England Patriots head coach, Bill Belichick was known as a defensive guru, and he was the Cleveland Browns head coach, and he was the New York Jets head coach twice without coaching the game. When Belichick was the Browns head coach, he coached there for a couple of seasons where he went 36-44. In 97, he was hired as the interim head coach for the Jets, but then he moved over as Parcells became the full-time head coach, but Parcells then stepped down after 1999, making Belichick the head coach once again. Just a day after his hiring was publicized, he would then resign and become the head coach for the Patriots. And well, the rest is history. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady went on to win 6 rings together, and Belichick became known as the greatest head coach in football history. And well, the Jets have been the complete opposite. They've been nothing but failures. They've been through multiple head coaches, multiple quarterbacks, and they still can't find stability to this day. Now, what if Belichick would have stayed with the Jets? Honestly, I don't know what would have happened. He definitely wouldn't have won 6 rings. I don't know if he even would have won 1. And Tom Brady without Belichick probably sees success, but he probably didn't see those early first 3 championships. Those are all the what is for this video. If y'all have any more, comment up down below, and I can make a part 2. I can even make a part 2 involving college football. But until next time, I'm out. Peace.